CROOKER WAITS, retold by Robert D. Souci. Late in the afternoon, a traveler on his way to the town of Cromford met an old woman in green skirts and a shawl.
"Where are you bound, with the day so far gone?" she asked. "The sun will soon set, and this road is dangerous at night."
"My mother lies ill in the town ahead," he answered. "I must get there without delay."
"Have a care," the old woman said. "Crooker lies in wait. But it may be I can help."
She reached into a pouch that hung from her belt and held out a sprig of St. John's wort. The bright yellow flower seemed to glow in the afternoon sun. Knowing it was a good luck charm, the man took the old woman's offering, saying, "Thank you for your help."
"Your kindness has earned it. You once freed a bird caught in a fowler's snare. I know that bird. As you travel the road, show the flower to Crooker."
"Who is Crooker?" the man asked. But the old woman had vanished. The man continued on his way. Near dusk, he rounded a bend in the lane and discovered another old woman, also dressed in green, waiting for him.
"The Cromford road is dangerous at night. Turn aside and go no farther before sunrise."
"My old mother is ill and needs me. I cannot delay." She nodded, then held out a handful of primroses to him.
"These are payment for freeing a rabbit from a snare. I know that rabbit. Show them to Crooker, who waits."
"Who is Crooker?" But she, too, was gone. The traveler shivered as shadows lengthened across the lonely road. Carefully, he put the pale pink flowers in his pocket. Then he hurried on his way. The sun had just set behind the hills when the man met a third old woman dressed in green.
"It's a dark and dangerous time to be abroad on the Cromford road. But it may be that these will help."
She held out a bunch of bright yellow daisies to him. In the sun's afternoon glow, they seemed to burn like flames.
"You freed a fox and her cub from a trap," the old woman said. "I know that vixen and her cub. Take the flowers and show them to Crooker. But be sure you are on the Cromford Bridge before the moon rises."
Then, like the others, she vanished, even as he asked her, "Who is Crooker?" The sun was completely gone now, and the moon had not yet risen. The traveler made his way slowly through the dark. Always he was on the alert for Crooker, but he neither saw nor heard the fellow. By the time he was in sight of the Cromford Bridge, the moon had risen high and bright. He remembered the third woman's warning that he should be on the bridge before moonrise, but he felt himself out of danger. Nothing and no one lay between him and the bridge, save a great yew tree beside the road. In the moonlight, its crooked branches cast shadows that looked like swarms of arms with clawed and clutching hands. "You're letting your imagination run off with you," the man said aloud. "Those old women were well-meaning, but their warnings have spooked you, sure enough." He hastened forward, but as he passed through the shadow of the tree, a wind set the branches swaying and the leaves seething. The shadow claws fell all around him, and the wind through the leaves seemed to moan.
"Hungry, hungry, hungry."
Suddenly a branch raked the man's cheek. A second slashed at him, drawing blood. To his horror, the tree seemed to twist and bend as though it were alive. The thick trunk leaned toward him. The branches, more like arms now, caught at his hair and cloak.
"Hungry, hungry, hungry."
"Crooker!" Oh, desperately, the man reached into his pocket and pulled out the bunch of daisies. In his hand, the flowers flared into a cold yellow flame. The tree branches snapped away. The leaves hissed and shrank back. Instantly, the wind snuffed out the flame. But in that moment, the terrified man began running for the safety of the bridge. He had only gone a little way when the moonlight cast the shadow of reaching arms over him. Turning, he saw to his horror that the yew tree was now rooted in the road right behind him.
Hungry, hungry, hungry.
The man felt himself caught and lifted from the ground and drawn back toward the tree. Only with a great effort did he manage to draw the knot of primroses from his pocket. These flared more brightly than the daisies had. Though the unearthly flame was cool to his fingers, it set the branches that held him ablaze. The burning limbs dropped him to the ground before the wind extinguished the fire. Stunned, the man staggered on. But just before he flung himself onto the safety of the bridge, the clutching shadows fell over him again. With a sob, he realized that the great yew tree was now rooted at the foot of the bridge, like some terrible guardian. Before the branches could catch him, the traveler hurled the sprig of St. John's wort straight at the wicked tree. For a moment, nothing happened. Then deep inside the menacing tangle of branches, fire flared as bright as 1,000 rising suns. It fountained up from root to treetop, turning each limb into a burning brand with flames for leaves. From the heart of the blaze came hundreds of screams, turning into one deafening sound. Pressing his hands to his ears, the traveler leapt onto the bridge. He fell badly, hitting his head against the stonework and knocking himself unconscious. When he awoke, the sun had risen. Nearby, where the bridge met the riverbank, the charred stump of an ancient yew tree sent wisps of smoke into the chill morning air.